Friday, June 25. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. Opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips is calling for the resignation of Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley. He made the call amid allegations of mismanagement and nepotism at the state-run oil refinery, PetroJam. Speaking at a recent People's National Party's Executive Council meeting in Portmore, St. Catherine, Dr. Phillips said Dr. Wheatley must take responsibility for the alleged breaches as they occurred under his leadership. The opposition leader also said that Prime Minister Andrew Holness owes the country an explanation regarding the PetroJam saga. Cabinet is expected to get a report this week on the operations of PetroJam. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says he will be taking a submission to Cabinet for persons who plead guilty to be eligible for expungement after a period of rehabilitation. Chuck, who was speaking with reporters following a judicial education conference in Trelawney on the weekend, said, quote, "Let us say they had a 10-year prison sentence and they served the 10 years. Then maybe after 15 or 20 years, when they commit no further crime in the community, they could be eligible for expungement." End quote. Supreme Court judges and other members of the judiciary were among those who attended the conference. Justice Minister also reiterated that case management should help reduce the backlog of cases in the court system, adding that he hopes the conference will result in cases being disposed of more quickly. The Jamaica Labour Party has confirmed the appointment of Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid and Anne-Marie Vaz as caretakers for the Northwest St. Anne and East Portland constituencies, respectively. The announcement was made following a central executive meeting at the party's Belmont Road headquarters, where party officers confirmed the two caretakers. The other two caretakers are Robert Miller for Southeast St. Catherine and Delroy Slowly for Northeast St. Elizabeth. Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Audley Shaw says he will be moving to ensure that Jamaica is not left behind in the growing global medical cannabis industry. He said that while Jamaica has only decriminalized the use of up to 2 ounces of marijuana and issued a few licenses for production and processing, Canada and the United States are moving ahead in the mass production process. Jamaica, said Shaw, needs to move quickly to take advantage of opportunities in the growing of cannabis and manufacturing of products. He says he has been working with the Ministry of Health and the Cannabis Licensing Authority to move faster and more aggressively to get up to the level of world competition. Shaw was addressing an agricultural technology symposium held at Isratech Jamaica Limited group of companies in Kendal, Manchester, recently. 1 in every 4 Jamaican women has experienced physical violence at the hands of their male partners. More than 7% of Jamaica's women experience sexual abuse by their male partners. Those are some of the findings contained in the first Women's Health Survey 2016, the results of which were presented on the weekend. The survey is a co-publication of the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, UN Women. In regional news, Venezuelan security forces have carried out hundreds of arbitrary killings under the guise of fighting crime. That's according to the UN's human rights body. In a report, it cites shocking accounts of young men being killed during operations, often in poor districts, over the past 3 years. According to the BBC, the UN's human rights chief said no one was being held to account, suggesting the rule of law has virtually been absent. Venezuela has in the past dismissed human rights allegations as lies. The BBC report said UN Rights Office alleges that extrajudicial killings were carried out by officers involved in the operations for the liberation of the people, ostensibly a crime reduction initiative. UN investigators have been denied access to Venezuela. However, they made their findings from interviews with about 150 witnesses and victims contacted through internet-based technologies. In sports, schoolboy Christopher Taylor upstaged his more senior athletes by taking home the men's 400 meters title in 44.86 seconds on the final day of the JAAA Supreme Ventures Limited National Junior and Senior Championships at the National Stadium yesterday. Taylor ran a personal best and a national junior record as he dipped under 45 seconds for the first time in his career, erasing Akeem Bloomfield's national junior record of 44.93 seconds. And still on athletics, led by leaders of the two biggest track clubs in Jamaica, local coaches have requested a meeting with the hierarchy of the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, the JAAA, to discuss what they have described as a poor organization and running of the 2018 JAAA Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. Glenn Mills, who heads the Racers Track Club, told the Sunday Gleaner that the meet has been marred with protests over false starts and poor scheduling of events. And for this reason, he welcomes the call by Stephen Francis, who heads the MVP Track Club, for local coaches to meet with the JAAA to discuss the running of the meet. And that's the news, but do stay with us. The weather report is next. This is PBCJ's weather report. Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's start with our local currents. We're starting with a look at Montego Bay, St. James today. We're looking at warm temperature, just about 30 degrees Celsius, but we're also seeing a forecast of some rainy skies throughout the day. We're looking at cloudy conditions this evening and a lower temperature, just about 10 degrees Celsius in some areas in St. James forecast for today. Let's take a look at what's happening over there in Kingston. Temperatures between 26 and 30 degrees Celsius with a forecast of rainfall throughout the day. We're looking at lower temperatures this evening, just about 26 to 25 degrees Celsius as the sun sets at 6:33 p.m. And across the island, we're looking at predominantly warm temperatures between 29 and 33 degrees Celsius. There is a system affecting the island, so we're seeing a forecast of rainfall in the eastern and northern ends of the island. Sunny skies forecast for Black River and over there in Negril. Tonight, we can expect lower temperatures between 23 and 26 degrees Celsius, cloudy conditions in the western end of the island, but we could be getting some rainfall over there in Port Antonio and Ocho Rios, cloudy conditions forecast for St. Thomas. Let's take a look at what should be happening tomorrow. We're looking at rainy skies for Ocho Rios and over there in Port Antonio. Cloudy conditions forecast for the eastern end of the island. Sunny skies for the central and western parts. We could be getting some scattered showers over there in Negril. And across the Caribbean tomorrow, for those of you who are traveling to Cuba and over there in Nassau, Bahamas, expect some rainfall in the western end of that area. We're looking at cloudy conditions for Santo Domingo over there in Antigua as well. Scattered showers forecast for St. George's, Grenada. And further afield to the United States, now on your screen, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and Atlanta. We're looking at rainy skies for Los Angeles and Miami, sunny skies for New York, rainy skies forecast for Atlanta. We're looking at, for those areas, a minimum temperature between 14 and 24 degrees Celsius, a maximum 43 degrees Celsius forecast for Los Angeles for tomorrow. And that's it for the weather report. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Pleasant viewing.